It was a Tuesday afternoon when Daniel realized he was drowning in stress. He wasn't doing anything dramatic, just sitting at his desk at work, staring at a spreadsheet. But his heart was pounding. His back was tense. His jaw was clenched. And his mind, it was racing in 100 different directions. I still haven't sent that email. I forgot to pay the electricity bill. I have to pick up groceries on the way home. What if I mess up this project and they fire me? One thought after another. No break, no pause, just a constant invisible pressure pressing down on him. And worst of all, it felt normal. Because that's the thing about stress. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just quietly takes over your life. One small worry at a time. Until you can't sleep, can't eat, can't think straight. Until you're living in survival mode without even realizing it. Daniel wasn't lazy. He wasn't weak. He was doing everything he was supposed to. Showing up, working hard, smiling at meetings. But inside, he was unraveling. He was always tired, but couldn't rest. He was always busy, but didn't feel productive. He was surrounded by people, but felt completely alone. That's what happens when stress controls your life. It steals your joy, your peace, your energy. And it convinces you that this is just how life is supposed to feel, but it doesn't have to be. Let me take you back a little. Daniel used to love quiet mornings. He'd wake up, sit on his porch with a cup of coffee, and just watch the world go by. But lately, mornings had become chaotic. Alarms, emails, phone buzzing, rushing out the door. His brain didn't get a second to breathe. He missed peace. He missed calm. But he didn't know how to find it anymore. Until one day, something changed. It was late at night. He was scrolling through his phone, feeling overwhelmed, when he came across a quote that stopped him cold. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you, Anne Lamott. Daniel stared at those words for a long time. Unplug, even me. It sounded simple, but he realized he hadn't truly unplugged in years. His brain had been running non-stop, thinking, planning, worrying, without rest. And that night, he made a promise to himself. He wouldn't let stress control his life anymore. He was going to take back the wheel. But how? Not by quitting his job, not by moving to a cabin in the woods, but by changing how he responded to stress, not just how much of it he had. Because here's what the research says. A study published in Health Psychology found that how you think about stress, your mindset, matters more than the stress itself. People who believed stress was harmful were more likely to get sick or burned out. But those who saw stress as a signal to slow down or focus were actually more resilient. In other words, it's not just stress that breaks us, it's our reaction to it. Daniel began to explore this for himself. He didn't try to eliminate all stress, because life is stressful sometimes. But he asked himself, how can I reduce the way stress controls my thoughts, my body, my decisions? He started small. He began his mornings differently. No phone for the first 15 minutes. Just breathing, stretching, and writing down 3 things he was grateful for. At work, instead of powering through 8 hours straight, he took a 2-minute break every hour, even if it was just standing up, drinking water, looking out the window. And at night, he turned off screens 30 minutes before bed. He'd read a book or listened to calm music, something to tell his brain, we're done for today. Let's rest. At first, it felt strange. His mind still raced, his body still tensed. But over time, something amazing started to happen. He could feel his heart rate slowing during those breaks. He could fall asleep without replaying the whole day in his head. He started laughing more, eating slower, feeling lighter. And most importantly, he started to feel like himself again. Because reducing stress doesn't mean escaping life. It means learning how to live it better. Another thing Daniel discovered was how powerful his thoughts were. He'd always believed that thinking about his problems non-stop would help him fix them. But in truth, it just made them feel bigger. So, he tried something different. Whenever he noticed a stressful thought, he would ask, "Is this helping me right now?" And if the answer was no, he'd gently guide his mind elsewhere. Not by ignoring the problem, but by giving himself permission to rest before responding. This shift in mindset, this tiny habit, made a huge difference. Because stress isn't just about what's happening around you, it's about what's happening inside you. And when you start changing the conversation in your head, everything else begins to shift. Here's a real insight backed by science. Harvard research has shown that practicing mindfulness, even for just 10 minutes a day, can reduce the brain's response to stress. It's not about emptying your mind, but about paying attention on purpose without judgment. Daniel wasn't a meditation expert. He didn't sit cross-legged for hours. He just learned to notice when stress showed up and greet it with curiosity instead of panic. Sometimes he'd whisper to himself, "Okay, stress, I see you, but I'm still in charge." That simple sentence gave him power. He still had deadlines. He still had hard days. But he didn't let those moments own him anymore. And here's the truth most of us need to hear. You don't have to live in a constant state of tension. You don't have to let stress decide how your day goes. You can choose peace, even in the middle of pressure. It starts with noticing, then slowing down, then giving yourself permission to breathe. One of Daniel's favorite reminders became this quote, "It's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it." Lena Horne. We all carry things, responsibilities, expectations, worries, but you can learn to carry them differently. Lighter, softer, smarter. And when you do, everything feels less impossible. Now, Daniel still has stress. We all do. But he's no longer a prisoner of it. He knows how to pause, how to respond instead of react, how to rest without guilt. He's taken back control, not of the world, but of his mind, his body, his day. And that's what you can do too. You don't need a perfect life to reduce stress. You just need new habits, new thoughts, and a little bit of kindness for yourself. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember this. You can breathe. You can slow down. You can choose to carry today a little lighter than yesterday. Because stress may visit you, but it doesn't get to live in you. And every time you make one small choice to care for yourself, you're building a life that feels calmer, clearer, and more like you. You are not your stress. You are not your to-do list. You are not what the world demands from you. You are something much more powerful. You are the one who gets to choose how you meet the moment. So choose with grace. Choose with strength. And never forget, peace is always just one thought away.